Okay. Good morning, friends. Reconnecting. Good morning off. Actually, I forgot. Yes, here I am. Things are getting more filled in, thicker in the woods. Nice and green. Ooh, I know. Well, it was questionable this morning. I didn't know if I was going to make it because I didn't know if the rain would hold off. And I didn't really want to walk in the rain, But we'll go see what's happening in the neighborhood this morning. I see a little peak of sun. That's hopeful. Good morning, friends. I see 4 of you watching. Thank you. I find it funny that you guys like to come along and jabber on my walks. I have been so busy in my garden. My daughter really motivated me last week. The water is so calm. Look, it's so glassy. It's like a perfect reflection. And it's quiet for a minute. My youngest kind of motivated me to really start grooving in my yard again. She was saying how she remembered it just being such a magical place when she was growing up. There was always cute little flower beds and all that jazz. So I've been trying to figure out, I'm gonna just fill it full of magical wind chimes and little bird baths. I found a cute little, I found a terracotta base. I need to weed, but it has to stop raining. Yeah, I get it. Create Relay, good morning. I'm going to take advantage of the quiet, no traffic here. Cross over to my regular stomping grounds. It's a little chilly. I feel like I need a winter coat and some gloves. My goodness. It's breezy. Yesterday, Willie was saying it actually felt like fall. Oh, good morning, Lori. But anyway, yeah, so I made a really cool, and I kick myself now that I didn't make a video. But I made a really cool wind chime out of tin cans. So now we're saving tin cans from all of the, instead of recycling them, we're going to save them. So we had hash the other day, which was a good size can. And I saved the can for that. And then I saved the tin can from the peas that Willie had the other night. What else? Oh, and I had tomato soup for lunch the other day. So they were 3 cans, 3 different sizes, and they fit perfectly into each other. So I brought them upstairs and gave them a coat of gesso and some white acrylic paint, and then I painted them in boho colors. I have a flannel on again today. Yeah, it is breezy. Ooh, that's a pretty truck. So clean. He must not do much work. Good morning, Jim. Welcome to my wild chat Wednesday, where anything goes. You never knows. And I'm going to try to keep track this morning of how I did look at my number of steps and miles, because I do want to see how far I'm walking. I'm sure it's not that far. It just feels like it. So I'll have to try to extend my walking as we go, but we're only a few weeks in, so this is my 3rd week. So I'm not pushing it. And I'm still panting, out of breath. So, oh, thanks, Jim. You're so good about that. So the Trailside Lobster Pound looks like they're like up and going this morning. Good, good. So we need some lobster. Oh, that clicking, if you guys hear it, is my umbrella in case I get caught in a downpour. I thought I should just be safe today. So what's new? It's hump day, halfway through the week, work week for those that work. I have been so sore and achy. I don't know, the weather really wreaks havoc. You guys, I'm sure that there's some of you out there that can relate. Someone out there can relate. And I've just wanted to take a nap. And then I get in the garden and then I'm done. After a few hours, I'm like, man, I'm just like worn out. I pushed through yesterday. It was yucky. And so we stayed inside, and my basement has been needing to be cleaned for years. Since my divorce, actually, in 2012. That's how bad. I have some stuff that he left, stuff that my kids left, and it's just so overwhelming. And I'm like, I don't know how to start. I don't know how to get down there and just get started. So finally yesterday I looked at William like, do you want to go down and just tackle the one corner, like the workbench? He's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And God love him, you guys. I mean, I have disabilities, but that man's got so much going on right now. And he just is such a trooper. He keeps me going. And I'm caregiving him. So but you know, little does he know, he's caregiving me too. It's such a nice symbiotic relationship, which is how it's supposed to be, I guess, right? But anyway, we got down there, and it was fun to see him go through a lot of the stuff, because it was stuff that, like I said, that's been there since my ex was around. So I told him when the bench was cleaned that, you know, that would be his space to be able to do whatever he wants. Hi, Flo. Create and relate does with me too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's no fun. Flo, I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you made it to the walk. And I feel like, wow, I did. I'm walking so fast. Look, I walked right by the truck fountain. So anyway, the things that we found, I found so many gardening things. I found, the fountain, that's what reminded me. I found a water pump to an old water fixture that I must have had forever ago. So I want to do a water fixture in the yard, like a little fountain. But that's what I was saying earlier, is I found a little terracotta plate from a plant pot and a macrame plant hanger, just a small one. So I saw on Pinterest. Pinterest has been so amazing for finding like yard art and garden ideas, like upcycling junk, right? And it showed a little water that you could hang in a macrame hanger if you want, like, because I've been Googling, you guys know, probably know, I've been Googling like hippie gardens, because, you know, that's Willie and I, a couple of old hippies. So, well, I always think I'm more of a gypsy than a hippie. But anywho, I hung it up on a little shepherd hook, and it's so cute. So when the rain comes, it will fill that little terracotta plate, and it will be a spot for the bees and the butterflies to get water. So I have a couple of old marbles and excellent taste. Whoops, I missed it. Oh, here we go with the chat thing again, guys. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Addie. Oh, I think I figured it out. Oh, a cookie. Ooh. So I have a couple of marbles that I also found yesterday in the basement, and some really pretty rocks. So I'm going to put those in there. But I think it'll be really cool. And then I made, out of the tin cans, I made a little boho wind chime with some old wooden beads that I had in a bag from when I used to work with kids doing stuff. And when my kids were little, a bunch of stuff from there then. So it's been fun. It's kind of like when you clean your craft room, right, ladies and gents? And you find all these new things. I wish I had a stabilizer. I'm wondering if one of those selfie sticks would be a good option when I'm on these walks to use to keep my phone a little more stable. I feel like I'm so bumpity bump. Oh, you're so sweet to look out for the bees and the butterflies. Yes. Well, here's the thing. Yesterday, we had a little scare because we were looking out, and I was like, geez, I went out. There was activity the other day, but since the rain, I didn't really go out in the rain because they go in, They don't really come out. So, another reason why the beekeeper wanted to wait until it was a decent, non-rainy day because he wanted to open the hive with the girls not home, you know what I mean? But I went out yesterday. It was cloudy, no rain, but there was no activity. I checked a couple hours later, and there was one on the flight board, but it wasn't moving very far, and it looked like it was stuck in maybe some of that honey that was stuck there. And then a little bit later, Willie came in. He's like, hey, I went down and I tapped on the roof of that hive. Nothing came out, and I was like, oh no. I said, well, let me go look. So I went down, and I was kind of talking, I told you guys, do my little chat. And I was like, hey girls. And I didn't bang on the roof, but I tapped on the side of the box. Well, lo and behold, like 4 or 5 bees came down to the door, like looking out like, hey, what do you want, So, you guys have no idea what a relief that was. So I'm hoping, and it hopefully affirmed my thoughts that, let me see. Check out Five Below for selfie stick. Oh, okay, Jim. I love people who talk to bees. You are just the best. Oh, Flo, you have no idea. I've slipped up, and I will tell you guys this. So I think this happened since last week. Yes, it did, actually. So they came out, and they moved around a little bit of the doorway, and then they went back in. But I saw movement, which was the important part, And speaking of, I don't know how far we'll make it down here. Looks like there's a lot going on, so I might I think these guys are taking dirt out of those big dirt piles up there, so we're going to go this way. And there is a person walking with their pup up here. So, speaking of talking to the bees, Flo, I had a little jolt last week because one of my crafty friends that's in the group sent me a little snippet from a Facebook meme. You know how you get those little stories or whatever, And she's like, hey, I saw this, it had to do with bees, so I thought of you. So she sent it. Well, it was the story, and it says it was folklore from like the 1800s, but they do believe that this is actually holds true to modern times and shows the connection between humans and nature. And you guys know how close I am, or it was, to the bees. I love the bees, and my beekeeper always calls me the bee whisperer. He's like, you have such happy bees, like, do you talk to them? I'm like, of course I talk to them all the time. They would come up. I have some shorts on my channel. You guys will have to check them up. They would come up when I would sit out on my step and have coffee in the morning, they would come up to this little tin. It was like a citronella candle bucket with the lid. And I had it hanging from my bell on my porch. Because I had a bell from when my kids were little. They were out in the woods playing. I could just ring the bell and they would know they had to check back in for something. But anyway, I had the candle there and I hadn't used it because the bees, I had learned the bees didn't like citronella. So I just left it closed. Well, after it would rain, it would collect water on the lid. There was a little tiny lip. And the bees would come right up and get on there and have their little spa day. And it was adorable, and I was able to catch it on camera one day. So it was great. But anyway, so I have those. But anyway, okay, back to the story. So this person sends me it, and I was reading it, how when something happens, usually the head of household or the housemaid would go out to the hive. If there was a death in the family, someone got married or moved out of the home or left or whatever, you would go out and knock on the hive and you would whisper to the bees whatever news it was. You guys, my aunt passed away last year and I went into a deep depression. I guess the word is bereavement. I guess I went into bereavement. The whole year, you guys, I disconnected myself from nature, from the bees, from everything. But the most important thing was, I never told the bees. And it says if you don't tell the bees, they will leave. They will leave, they will become sick and ill, or even worse, die. Well, as you guys know, when I opened my hive this year, thank goodness none died, because there were no carcasses, nothing died, but they left. They had left. So, lo and behold, I learned a life lesson, another one this week, to stay connected with my bees and to keep them informed of life happenings so that they don't leave. Crazy, right? Okay, here's our little tadpole situation. Wow, there's so many. And some trash. But oh my goodness, I think I saw something blip in the water. So, wow, there's so many eggs. I hope most of them survive, because this is another thing that's key to nature. Yes, Dawn, I've heard that too. You need nature to support you through your tough times. Let life love you. That's right. Spa day. I need one of those too. Yeah, me too. But anyway, isn't that wild? I ran inside because I was outside in the garden when I opened it, and I sat down and read. I ran inside and I'm like, Willie, you gotta hear this. You gotta hear this. I think I know what happened to the bees. And I read him the snippet, and he was like, oh my goodness. He goes, that's possible. It's possible what happened. And here we go with all this construction again. So I'm going to turn around. We might walk back the other way a little bit. Yeah, so lesson learned. I will keep the bees informed, and I will check on them often. Like today, I went down and checked on the hive and said good morning. friendly fellow. So yeah, so that's what I've been doing out in the garden, trying to make space. And my hammock, I'm already looking at how I can turn my hammock into just like this great big hippie hammock loaded with colors and pillows, and I have some colored throws that might look great on it. So when it's nice out, I can throw them over and have it, you know. And we put lights in our little screen house. So got that up. Willie wanted to line it with pom-poms. I was like, I don't think so. I don't know if I want pom-poms all through it. He's like, why not? Oh, because he's totally on board with creating a hippie yard, you know. But I found a bunch of wreath forms that I want to tie. I have some different fabrics. I'm going to make some fabric strips and tie them and make spinners for the yard that just kind of spin all the color and do a bunch of things like that. And I saw my first hummingbird this week after I saw you guys last Wednesday. I think it was Friday. I was having coffee outside and I heard it. You know how quick they are. They're just like, and you just hear that little, and I looked real quick and it landed in my apple tree and I was like, oh, they're here. They're here. So got my hummingbird feeders up. So we're getting there. Spending a lot of time though outside. I did get in my craft room this week. Like I said, I did craft up the wind chime. Did some painting. Still painting roses with my friend Karen. So, all right, let's see. I think I figured out the chat thing. Now I just need to put glasses on so I can see. Whoop. Oh, cool. Hummingbirds are even more wonderful in real life. Yes, they are. When I used to go to Texas to visit my best friend that lived there, she used to have hummingbird feeders all the way down the front of her farmer's porch. And those things would come. Okay, Lori, take care, my friend. Thanks for dropping by and saying hello and listening to the banter. Thank you, Flo, for keeping track of that. Went right by me. I might miss some of you guys, and I apologize in advance. Anyway, her porch would just load up with those hummingbirds, and they would squawk, you know, bickering back and forth about who could get to the feeder next, I guess. Oh yeah, I don't know if it shows through the woods, but there's the big old dirt piles that are down there. So it looks like they filled them, they revamped them, and that must be the new spot where companies come in and get their fill that they need. I feel like I'm walking a lot faster today. It's only been 25 minutes. What? Well, I'll take the long way around. I think I'll cut over here. I guess there's no long way. Look at this, you guys. Oh my gosh, look at that. It's a little tiny little golfy thing, green. Oh my goodness, I love it. This is the food truck, the Scale Shack. Love, love, love it. So pretty. Oh, so back to the yard stuff. We've been trying to clean up outside in the yard too, because that's another thing. Things have just been building over the years. And things, big things, you know, that might cost, or, you know, the junk that lays around your yard. And you're like, oh, I need to get that to the dump. And then it never makes it to the dump. And you're like, ugh. Well, I have several garden hoses that have split or whatever. They're no longer functioning to their maximum abilities. So I have decided, I found on Pinterest a really cool thing for wrapping them into a spiral. You know, you fold them up. Here, I'll show you. You kind of do the little kink here, and then you just start wrapping like you're basket weaving. And you just keep going around and around and around and around. And every few loops you connect it like this on offset with zip ties, right? And then you have a little stepping stone, and it's made out of a garden hose. So that's my next project, is I'm going to get the garden hoses out and kind of mock one up to see how the length I need, and then I'll cut it, the whole hose, or all the hoses, into that size section. And I'm going to probably buy out the Dollar Tree's zip ties because I have a bunch. I have a couple of different shades of green in hoses, and then I have a purple hose even. So I thought it would be fun. I will do some little stepping stone hose stones. I don't know, what do you call them? Garden hose mats. I'll make a little pathway that goes down to where my beehive is, and make some through my different flower beds areas. So I thought that would be fun. And then we have a few old tires. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do with the old tires. I think a couple of them are too far gone, and Willie said he'll just take them over to the transfer station, to the mall across the street, and dispose of those. I think they're like $4 or $5 to dump them off. But he has a couple that are really bad that I won't use in the garden because there's like metal inside them that comes out when they're worn. So those ones I don't want. But I have some others that aren't like that, and I want to take them and use them as planters. So I saw a really cute thing on Pinterest where you turn one into a teacup. You cut it and you have to invert it. So we're going to see if we can try to do that. But I watched a video and it looked like it might be a little too difficult to turn those suckers inside out. We'll see. But if it works, I'm going to paint it up really cute, put a little face on it, have it sitting somewhere in the corner of my garden, maybe where I'd make my tea garden, because I'm thinking of making a little space with a little table and chairs, like a bistro, just sit quietly and have tea. Different from my party tent, you know. So I have a big screen house gazebo thing for when people come, and there's places for like 6 to 8 people to sit. So I want to make a quiet spot to sit. So that's been what I've been up to. Sorry if the wind, I feel the breeze on my face walking back, and I'm sure that it's probably blowing into the microwave, the microphone. So is anyone else doing any outdoor gardening type stuff? Or my seeds are coming along great. My flower seeds are coming in nice. I have more than just the little first 2 petals now, which is awesome. I'm so excited. Willie's excited about the sunflowers. We're going to do a big sunflower wall. My strawberries are popping up like crazy. There's so many blossoms on each of the plants. So I told Willie, I said, we get strawberries off all those plants. I said, we're having strawberry shortcake. I will find a diabetic friendly shortcake. Stopping again. Oh, Create Relay, have a great day. I probably missed you, friend. I'm sorry. Have to go get some exercise on my own. Isn't it awful that watching someone else walk doesn't exercise your own body? Yes, I totally get it. That's usually me. I'm usually the one sitting in my recliner on the heating pad, watching everybody else do the things. But you take care, and have a great day, Flo. Hopefully I didn't miss you, so you hear that. So yeah. The road still looks good. All the rain has kind of flattened out where they did all the grading, so that's good. Yeah. Well, I guess the benefit to having it cooler and breezy is that I'm not working up so much of a sweat. Well, I'm sweating, but it's not uncomfortable. The breeze feels good. So I did work on making a card this last weekend in honor of my bees. So I do have that on one of my old phone recorded. I just need to finish editing and put it up. So that's a start to getting some more videos up. Yeah. Let's see if I can get a close-up of this without ruining the whole screen. Can you guys see the waterfall? Isn't that beautiful? You guys see the water coming out of the radiator of the old truck? I don't think I've gotten a nice close-up, a nice still, so you guys could see, but I just love it. I want an old truck now for my yard. Isn't that cool, Beth? Adorable. Good thing that wasn't a real truck. Well, it was a real truck at one time. It was a real truck, Jim. I'll show you the side of it. I have a really cool picture from, I have to take some close-ups of the photography that I have from my friend Bob, Jim, and show them to you. He's got a really cool, but this definitely was a real truck, see? It was definitely a real truck. They turned it into a fountain. Hey, Carmen, how are you? But now I got you guys zoomed in. How do I get it? There we go, back out. Hello. Good morning, Carmen. It's so nice to see you. I know I missed you. A lot of people in and out of Biddy Penny's. I got distracted. I watched for a bit and then I was still in bed. So I went down and I made coffee and I got distracted down there because while I was waiting for the coffee to brew, I went outside and was looking at all the flowers and then I went back in and got my coffee and got distracted because I forgot Willie's got an appointment today. Finally, they made him a referral for to talk to the dietitian. I believe it's the dietitian for his diabetes, so I'm so glad. Thank goodness. I was trying to do two things at once, and I am not good at that. Yeah, I'm not either sometimes. So he's got that appointment today. So I was looking it up yesterday. Yesterday we got up early because we thought we had to go an hour over to the hospital over where we went for plastic surgery. We thought we had to go to wound care there. And I was like, well, I'm glad you finally have the appointment for wound care today and blah, blah, blah. And as we're talking more, he goes, oh no, he goes, this is just a scam. He goes, you know, they're going to get me in there. The lady told me they're not going to clean my wound. They're just going to look at it. And then they'll tell me where I got to go to help me out. I was like, what? I was like, this is the referral for wound care. What are you talking about? He was like, oh no. He goes, they're not going to clean it. She told me they're not going to touch it. And I was like, well, that's the whole point. Like the plastic surgeon made the referral for wound care. This is supposed to be for them to clean the wound, this appointment. So I said, you know what? I said, call the hospital and find out. He's like, no, we're just going. It's 1 o'clock. We're going, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, I'm not going to travel over an hour to get there and find out that this is not for wound, that they're not going to clean your wound. No way. So, crossing back over. I called the hospital myself because he didn't want to call. And I said to them, hey, this is the situation. I told him everything Willie told me. And she's like, no, I don't know who he spoke with about that, but no, yeah, we're going to clean his wound. And of course we're going to look at it because we need to assess it and whatnot. And, and she goes, and you have the correct date, right? It's the 27th. And I went, oh, next Tuesday? Thank goodness, friends, I called, because we were all about heading over an hour to get his wound cleaned, and it wasn't even the day. It's next Tuesday. Wasn't yesterday. So I got off the phone and I was like, I just looked at him and he goes, "What? The appointment's not today?" I'm like, "Nope." He knows. He knows. He has no memory. So I was trying to get him to let me go today to the dietitian, but he's like, "No, I'm an adult. I can do it." And he's just real adamant about it. So as much as I try to convince him that, I want to be able to remember and learn to what the do's and don'ts, he's just adamant about going. So you know what? He's going. He's going by himself. And if things sound fishy when he gets home, I will call up, or I will go next time that there's an appointment. So here's my beautiful bamboo. Look at this bamboo. It's growing in so pretty. So pretty. Oh, that's another thing I went to look for. I was telling you guys. Did I lose you guys? Hopefully you guys are... Whoop. Oh, I just heard something in the tree. Maybe it's a frog. See all these ferns here? If you can catch these ferns before they unfurl all the way, you can eat them. They're called fiddleheads. And I went foraging for some along the brook at my house, but I'm going under the backhoe bridge here. Here it is. Isn't that a beautiful piece too? So pretty. See, we just turn old junk into lawn ornaments here. See? Same with the tree that fell down back. I said, I want to pull up those logs that got cut from the birch tree because they're beautiful. They're so nice and white and papery. And I think I'm going to seal the ends. I don't know if I can seal all the sides, but I can seal the ends. Hopefully they won't rot too quickly. But I want to make little stools around the fire pit. So we'll see. Let's see what Jim has to say. So Beth told me you were walking. I almost missed you. Oh, I'm glad you caught me, Carmen. And Jim says, when I was working, we were a dealer for link belt equipment. Oh, really? That's so cool, Jim. Wasn't that a cool thing, though? What is that? Is that a backhoe? I'm thinking it's a backhoe. So I still see some trash, but I notice a lot of trash gone on the other end of the road. So I'm hoping that the town came. Excavator, there we go. I'm hoping the town has started to come around and pick things up. I kind of lost hope because I thought for sure they didn't do it during Earth Day, that they might not get around to it, but I didn't really want to have to do it, but I will if it comes down to it, But anyway, well, we're getting faster because it's only 40 minutes. That's good. And here we are on this side of the pond. I always liked the side of the brook, not pond, brook. I always liked this. Well, let's go down. My hand's getting tired. I always liked this side of the brook better. I don't know if it was the fallen tree here that comes down. A couple of those are new. One was already there. A couple of those are new. They used to stand like this one. I mean, these will probably be next, these big ones. But it's so serene. So Willie's got a huge magnet that he got last year. I told him he should bring it down and do some magnet fishing. Never know what you'll find in here. If we come down, I might record it. I think it'll be a fun short. I'm wondering what's going on in this little, let me see, I can never get it right, in this little thicket here. It looks like it's dug out, like it's a little hollow. And I'm wondering if there's ducks or something. Turtles, beaver. I feel like there's something. Whoop, thumb's in the way. I tagged you on my new video, Dawn. Oh, you did? Oh, Carmen, I watched your video the other day of your drawings, your watercolors. You are doing amazing. Those were amazing. I loved the bee, of course. Of course. So pretty. Great work. Yeah, I got to get in and do some. I still have a Kendra's card challenge I need to finish before this quarter is up. And I want to complete that. And I have my junk journal. I did do a couple of things in my junk journal, even though I like to wait till Fridays to do that. I did do a couple of things that were to kind of move me along a little faster on that this weekend. What else do I have coming up? Hey, Mary, good morning. Thanks for swinging by and saying hello. Just waking up. Yeah, I was not, I guess I was up before 7, but I feel like it was a late start. But I guess for most, it's probably not a late start. But I have bread rising right now. I put it in the bowl. It's on its second rise. And once that's risen, I will take it out and punch it down and split it into 2 loaves. It's sourdough, so San Francisco sourdough too. And we'll form my boules and bake those off, so we'll have bread. Maybe I'll try to get a picture this time. I always forget, and then who does not like to cut into fresh bread when it's still warm? Me. Yes, painting can be so therapeutic, and so it brings me so much joy too, Carmen. I'm glad that it brings you joy like that. It's fun. I think I overheard Beth saying that she was going to try to paint some roses. Please post the smell. I will try. You know what? It will maybe a picture. I know you guys will just have to insert the smell, but I will. I want to cross over and look for a few minutes before I head home. But anyway, that's the reason that I haven't posted any pictures, because I end up cutting into it, and then I'm like, no, I don't want to take a picture like that. Or I say, oh, I'll just come back and take a picture of it with the slice, so it looks like I just sliced. And then before you know it, there's no bread, because I'm slow and I don't get back to it in time. So the water is so still. I mean, I can see some movement, but see that blue spot right there? Look at that reflection. It's almost perfect. It's almost perfect. Even the little blue, I can't even get it. Even that little bit of blue there. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? It's almost a perfect. Bet this looks beautiful in the fall. It does, Jim. It has a lot of color. There's a lot of, you can see there's a lot of evergreen in there too. So the color on some parts isn't as bright. Some of these back ones would be better, but there's so much deciduous. No, is it deciduous or coniferous? Coniferous. Evergreen trees. So there's still a lot of green, and then a lot of this stuff it doesn't last long, and it will just fall off. But I'll have to bring you guys down during the fall. Hopefully I'll be keeping my walks up then. I was hoping we might see the beaver, because sometimes I see some ripples, and I do see some movement coming right here, coming down. And it is going against the... Oh, I see a little... I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see if I can get up over this guardrail without falling into the brook. Oh, good grief. At least I have friends that can call 911. Now I just need to make sure I don't drop my phone. So I see something moving in the water right down there, and I think with the reflections you guys probably can't see it, but right around that bend, that was all part of a huge beaver dam. And Oregon's the beaver state? Really? And I'm probably not even saying that right for how you say it, Mary. I'm just gonna lean my umbrella up here. Or is it Oregon? Oregon or Oregon? I know people say it different, especially the natives. It's like us with Bangor. We say Bangor, but the people that are not natives, when you hear it in the wild, people call it Bangor. Bangor, Maine. It's like, no, it's not Bangor. My friend Lorraine is from Massachusetts, which, that's another thing I have for exciting news. I'm not sure yet. I have to see what the dates are. I might not be walking next Wednesday, or if I am somewhere else and I'm able to, I will go live and film out in the wild. But my friend Lorraine is coming for a visit. So I'm so excited. That's one thing that I've just been so amped about. How far are you from the Acadian? Mary, I am about 2 hours from Acadia. About 2 hours from Acadia. Yes, Jim. That's the woman that moved to Oregon. Oregon. Okay, Oregon. Got you. Yes, that's my bestie that moved to Illinois. She does a sister trip every year, and she just went because I think I told you guys, she was one of 15 kids, 14 now, 'cause she lost a brother in the war in Vietnam. But so there's a lot of sisters, and they get together every year and do a sister trip when they can. And so she is in Massachusetts right now. They spent a few days out on the Cape, and then they went somewhere else. But then she's coming up here to Maine because her daughter still lives here, and her granddaughter and grandson. So she'll be coming up to see them. And that's not far from me. So she's like, I'll call you. She wants to go to the casino. So who knows? If we go, maybe I'll turn on the camera because if I can. I don't know how that works, but that woman is always lucky. When I take her to the casino, she always wins, and she wins big, like really big. Like I'm just like, how do you have this kind of luck? I might win $30 out of the 40 that I took, and I spent 39 of it, you know what I mean? And I win $30 back. But this woman wins like thousands. So I don't know. She's just got the magic touch, I guess. Oh, now see, I just saw, oh, there. Do you guys see the ripples? So something just jumped. I don't know if it was a fish. And this brook just got stalked by the Maine Wildlife and Fisheries with brook trout and brown trout, I think it said on the website when I looked. So yeah. Well, whoop, there goes another one. Look at that. And I looked away, so I missed it. So I'll have to watch the camera later to see what it was. But see all the bugs and the little things when the breeze is coming, it knocks stuff off all of this stuff along the edge of the brook. And the fish are just, they will have a feeding frenzy. But sometimes you look and it's just those water bugs. So I can usually tell when it's a fish. It's usually a big, big ripple. I really want to come down and do some fishing. Whoop. But today I'm going to check in on my bees a couple times and maybe text the beekeeper. Find out if he wants to come and open the... He's supposed to open the top before we get more rain. He wants to open it up and look in because I guess he hasn't even looked inside yet. So I would like to know what's going on in there too, so I kind of have an idea on how they're growing. But I think that they're inside just cleaning house. Because from my understanding, he bought the bees from a gentleman that had a bunch of extras, and they just took it and inserted it into this box with other frames that were already there. So bees are very meticulous and they like a clean space. So I think they're just cleaning up. Oh, while I have you guys, let's look and see how far I walked. Because I know someone asked last week how far I walked, and I said just about an hour. But today I didn't even do an hour. Today I only walked... Oh, come on now. Okay. So it looks like I walked only a mile. Nothing to put in the Guinness Book this week. But I also only walked about 40 minutes. So hopefully that's a bird. I see something stirring in the... Oh, geez. Oh, you guys, this just scared the crap out of me. And look what I almost stepped on. Probably no one wants to see it. A turtle, poor turtle, got hit. Oh, I'm so sad. Yeah, that's true. A mile is better than nothing. Oh my goodness, I thought it was a live one, and I don't think it's alive. I think it didn't get saved. Like, it got too crushed. Oh my goodness, I'm so sad. Anyway, I walked this way because I saw something stirring in the bushes here, and I don't know if it was a bird or what do they call those things? A little swamp rat. I forget what it's called. Something weasel. There's a name for those things, and I can't think of it. Way back when I was a kid, there used to be a kid I went to school with, and I went to a private school for a while. I haven't seen any bears yet, Jim, and I've had birdseed out. I have been bringing it in at night, just in case. No bears. But anyway, this kid used to go out into an area like this. It was all boggy and swampy. And he used to trap these things. I can't think of the name of it. Muskrat. Maybe that's it. Muskrat? Does that sound right? And I was like, how can this kid... I think finally the teachers, like they were like nuns, but not, because it wasn't a Catholic school. But the sisters, they would go out, and I think they finally told him no more of that. But he was going out and trapping. I think it's muskrat. I think that's the name of it. They're like a mink, kind of like a oversized ferret, weasel. And I know we have those. We do have those, because I've seen them run down a rock wall behind my house. I used to fear when I had chickens. Do you guys think I should move this? Oh, I saw Hey Dawn. Who is this? Hey, Carla. Oh my gosh, Carla. So I just told the story. I was just telling the friends about the bee story that you sent me and how it really hit me like a tin milk can on my head. So now I'm making sure to talk to my bees and fill my bees in with all the information every day. Yeah. Yeah, it was a great story. And the reason that it did, it hit me so, it struck me so deeply is because the thing that when my beekeeper was looking in the hive when we found out there were no bees. Sorry, Harley's. He just couldn't understand why there was no bees, because the hive was so full of brood, you guys. It was so full of little bee larvae, and he couldn't even believe the fact that each cell had like multiple larvae in it. Like, it was so full. He was just like, I'm just so, just like, he couldn't believe it. He just couldn't believe it. Yeah, maybe some words I don't usually hear from the beekeeper came out of his mouth, because he was just shocked at why there were no bees and what could have possibly happened, because there was nothing that would have indicated illness, and there were no carcasses. So that was the weird thing. I'm watching the ripples, you guys. I'm watching the way things are moving, and I can almost see like there's something underneath there that is moving, and it's drawing the water in that direction. There's a current, but there's also something that's moving it to the side. So it could be the beaver under there. It might be a turtle too. I haven't seen it poke its head. But anyway, I think I've kept you guys long enough. We're at 50, just shy of an hour. All those almost bees lost. I know, Carla. I know. It was devastating. But he put them in another hive, because what he says is you can take those frames, and the other bees, they will do a proper disposal of those. Isn't that amazing? They will go in and they will take care of all of that. And I think that that's what's happening with the bees now. They're just busy, and they're cleaning up, and they're getting down to business and doing what they need to do on top of, managing all the other stuff. It makes me exhausted just thinking of it, because they do way more in a day than I do. Way more in a day than I do. But I appreciate you guys coming along on my walk. The chat didn't get too wild today. I think we did talk a little bit of crafty stuff, but a lot of nature, and mental health is good. Holding up. We're doing well. Cleaning and organizing in my basement. I'll give you guys an update next week. And maybe when it's all done, I will give you guys a show. Maybe I'll do a before video of what it looks like down there, minus part of the bench, because like I said, I already did part of the bench. But I want to, we're going to be turning one of the finished rooms that used to be my daughter's room. We're going to turn that into Willie's man cave. He's going to have a little, well, I'll be able to go in there sometimes, because it's going to have the workout stuff. It'll be like a little gym area and the music and all that jazz. So he just needs a space for that. So that's what we're going to do. But I'm sorry, got to run. Take care, Carla. Oh, enjoy the grandkids. Hug them so tight. There you go, Beth. Maybe someday you and I can walk together in nature. Thank you, Carmen, for showing up. And thank you, Jim, for conversation and popping in. And I will see you guys real soon. I will see you on Tracy's channel, I believe, on Friday morning. We'll be doing our junk-in. Not sure if there's a guest or not, but it's Wednesday. So don't forget my friends that are on here, like Beth. Beth goes live today at 6 p.m. Eastern. Who else? My friend Karen McCoy. I am Karen McCoy. She goes live at 5 o'clock on Wednesday. I think that's today. I know she talked about moving it to a later time on Wednesday, so I'm not sure if that starts this week or not. I didn't pay attention close enough in class on Monday, so forgive me if she's not there. But she always has everything listed. So, I just saw a little goldfinch. But yeah, so there's some crafty friends, and I think Carmen will be joining Beth today, possibly. Thank you, Mary. I will enjoy the bread. I got another hour or so to proof it, and then we will get her started. But I will try hard to get a picture this time. So, but anyway, thanks, friends. Take care. I really appreciate you all keeping me company. And I'll see you all soon. Bye.